Hello friends and technology lovers, how are you? I hope everything is going great. I'm feeling great and really comfortable with the product we're going to review in today's video. I've been testing this Avada 3 for a while now, and honestly I think it's truly amazing. Because surely many of you are among those people who work hard in front of the computer for very long hours or in an office. And of course you know that your neck, back and legs get really tense. If we don't have a good chair to spend all that time, well, with this Avada E3, all of that will be left behind because it comes with a lumbar support that moves with you. 4D adjustable headrest armrests that can be adjusted in all directions. And much more, which I'll tell you about in today's video to see if it's worth buying this Avada E3. So stay until the end to get to know it here with me on TechGround. Let's talk a bit about the brand because Avada isn't one of those names. Does it sound like cheap IKEA? No, they specialize in ergonomic and office chairs with a pretty serious focus on design and postural health. They've been making waves in the international market for years with products designed for people who spend all day in front of a screen. If you like this kind of technical content but explained in a way that won't put you to sleep, subscribe, hit like and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming reviews. Now let's get to the unboxing, because I'm eager to open it up so you can see how easy and simple it was to assemble. The box is pretty big, but if you live in an apartment without an elevator, get ready to work your legs. Because when we open it, we're going to find the backrest with the futuristic lumbar support, the metal base, and the soft cushioned seat. With this mesh, the headrest, the mechanical armrests, and some wheels that promise not to make any noise, even if you roll over a Lego with them. Everything is very well organized with screws and tools included. The manual is perfectly understandable. And you don't need to have a master's degree in IKEA, because in about 30 to 40 minutes, you'll have it assembled in no time. And right from the first moment, from the first touch, you can tell it's a very well-built chair. I mean, it's not just any chair. As you can see, it was very quick and very easy to assemble. Okay, before we continue, why is there so much talk about ergonomic chairs? Well, because if you spend 8 or more hours a day sitting in a crappy chair, your back will suffer. Honestly, your back is going to make you pay for it, literally with interest. Because we're talking about problems like lower back pain, neck stiffness, and poor circulation in your legs. And well, you'll end up sitting in positions and postures that make you look like a contortionist. This chair is designed to prevent all of that. It's not just about comfort in your posture, like I'm telling you, it's about health, productivity, and not ending up at the physical therapist every 2 weeks. We'll be grateful for it, both in terms of health and financially. So yes, a good chair is a smart investment, and the model we're going to look at today looks promising. Now let's move on to talk about the design and construction. For all of you who like technical details, it's a modern, clean design, and it's available in 2 colors. It will be available in gray and black finishes. If you're going for a more serious office or a sleek and sober look, well, you'll have those 2 options to choose from, also in terms of aesthetics. So now I'll tell you about the dimensions of its backrest and base, and also the weight capacity that this chair can support. The backrest measures 75 by 49 centimeters from the base of the seat all the way up to the headrest and the base. The base is approximately 50 by 50 centimeters, which is the seat area where we'll rest our legs and our butt. The height is adjustable between approximately 44 and 53 centimeters. The chair has a very solid metallic finish with a combination of mesh and soft materials, also such as the armrest and the lumbar support. And it has a total weight of 22 kilos. The truth is that it's quite heavy, but it is true that it can support up to 150 kilos. The elastic mesh that finishes its inner part has an opening of 16.5%, which will allow it to breathe optimally. So we don't get stuck like with typical synthetic leathers, and so we also have flexibility, and it adapts to our posture and our body. With this, I can tell you that you won't end up sweating or squished after a day of work, and you're going to get stuck. In the summer, when you're there in shorts or without a shirt, well, just know that it's super comfortable and also really well ventilated throughout the whole system. And here comes the fun part, which is the cool features that this chair has. The first thing I want to highlight is its 4D headrest, which we can adjust very easily. both forward, as you can see. Here all the mechanisms work the same way. They use a ratchet strap system with several points, and when we reach the end, we can go back to the beginning. In this case, we move it forward, and at the end point, it will let us go back to the beginning. Here we click it and we'll have the different positions. We have this part of the length going forward. The reclining part, as you can see, this one is a bit tougher, and also the part for adjusting the tilt of the headrest, which makes it also very, very versatile. Then we move on to the backrest part, and we're going to do the same thing from here. If we want to go all the way to the highest point, just keep clicking, okay? I always like it to be as high as possible. To support the upper part, since we have the lumbar support, and it will also give us that flexibility to keep our back well supported and our head in the right position, then we move on to the lumbar area that you will be seeing. Also in the detail shots, we can adjust the height, depth, and the tilt will be adjusted as well. Only when we are seated, we simply lift it with a click, move it forward with the click as well as far as we want, and rest. I'll move back a little, maybe you can see it better from here. Besides the detailed shots, as you can see, the tilt will now adapt perfectly. Something really nice is that we have two soft side cushions that will also adjust. The opening will go to 40 degrees and it will give us that kind of bucket seat feel, just like in race cars, which gives us these side supports which are like butterfly wings. It will support our lower back and also help us correct our posture so we don't bend from side to side. Super, super comfortable. Honestly, this part is a highlight for me, the lower back area, which is also the one that tends to resist the most. I like to put it all the way in the front to keep my back like this, since the chair comes with a T-shaped finish for that very reason. To keep our spine with enough curvature. Well, now we have our lower back, our back well adjusted, and our head, our whole back well aligned. Let's move on to the armrests. And we also have some amazing armrests, which will give us incredible versatility since we can move them forward, backward, both. Right? This part is a little bit tougher, alright? Because since the clicks are made of plastic, well, we get those sounds there. We can also turn them like this, sideways, frontally. That is, we move along the X-axis and the Y-axis. Then we also have the option to move them inward and outward. We can also adjust them. 20 degrees outward, 40 degrees inward. And something that really caught my attention, something I've missed. Many times when I'm playing, I don't know if it happens to you, but I usually rest my elbows on my knees. When you play on the console or when you're on your phone, you usually lean like this and your hands fall asleep. Well, so we have this tilt as well, so we can be here. Are you also going to be seeing the detailed shots? With the controller, you sit here to play and you can spend hours playing without your forearms getting tired or your hands falling asleep. Alright, well, this is a great feature. It also has several points, and this way we're going to have the option to adjust it in all directions. And of course the height that we can raise up to here and also lower to the minimum with several intermediate points, alright? This is good because, for example, it happens to me that when I get close to the computer, you'll also see it in the images. Well, it can bump into you because normally desks have a height between 70 and 80 centimeters. 74 is usually normal, 73, and they usually touch you, okay, when you're writing. But if you put the keyboard forward, you can be at a reasonable distance and still be writing. And since you have this swivel, right, well, you can be writing wonderfully without any awkwardness and without having to touch the wood, right? If not, then you raise it a little, lower it underneath, which is harder for it to go in from below. But anyway, let's remember that we have this part. Then there are also other important parts which you'll also be seeing in the other shots. We have the base, the buttstock, okay? We have a little lever to move it, 5 centimeters forward, 5 centimeters back. So if we have longer or shorter legs, our calves won't be left hanging and it will fit perfectly at the knee, okay? Another little lever we have, there are only 2 levers. We have the lever, as I said, to adjust the buttstock, the base, and the lever to raise and lower the height, as you would expect. And this same lever, if we open it, the lever has a point inward and a point outward. If we open it, we'll be able to move on to the controlled gravity that allows us, if we open it, we'll be able to lean. And there's no need to close it. I mean, we can lock it too, but since it has a gravity system, meaning it will automatically adjust when you're moving, it will stay in this position and you'll be able to stretch out and stay here. Without the chair constantly forcing you forward, you can move forward at any time. But as you can see, there's no need to use force. The chair will stay in almost any position. If we leave it unlocked, when we're moving, we'll be able to stay relaxed, a meeting or whatever like this. And finally, the footrest. The footrest that comes here, which also has a reasonable distance so that it stays above your ankles to be comfortable. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but maybe in the close-up shot you can see it better, because I don't have much camera range either. Here we can choose to move it a little forward, a little backward, so it supports us here. This is up to us. A flaw I would point out about this, just to mention something, also when you do this it comes out, meaning we don't have a stopper like the usual thing. When you're moving quickly, the footrest comes off. A little bit, okay? I think they could have played around with it a bit more to make it a bit more stable. Okay, we're in the same position as before and that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you, that it's a very comfortable chair that will give us a lot of versatility and will also offer us, well, that prevention for our health so that we have a better life, let's say, at work or in our daily routine, spending so many hours in front of the computer. And as you can see, a very premium finish, very nice. The plastics look to be of pretty good quality. The assembly was easy for me. I'm telling you, you don't need to have a master's degree from IKEA to put this chair together. The chassis is very well built. You can tell the chair is sturdy and strong, and overall it's very easy. I don't know, I've been trying it out for a while, not for many days, but in the long run, for example, this is a click. To me it sounds a little scary, although it's true that it's very easy in everything it is. The ratchet system is very sustainable to work with. What I don't know is, over time, what will last. That would be my negative point, which I wanted to mention. The way it moves and the wear on the materials is costly. 550 euros. It's the Avada E3. Check out their website, take a look. They have a lot of options. If you want something cheaper, they have the Air model. Take a look because they have a really wide range of office chairs. And I think, as a personal conclusion, that a chair like this can clearly replace a gaming chair without any problem. I mean, I've had the typical Razer chairs, the typical gaming chairs. Honestly, I prefer something like this. First, because I don't bump into anything. Second, because I have a ton of adjustments available. And third, because it's an elegant, beautiful chair. I'm not a kid anymore. I think I need something more formal for my office. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, opinions, thoughts. I'd love to read all of you. If you have it, if you're thinking about buying it, anything at all, just leave it there. A like is really appreciated. We're going to keep bringing you the best products, so you can have the best in your homes, in your houses, and at your workplaces. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already, because you really help us a lot to keep supporting the channel. Let's go for 1 million subscribers. We're almost there. And turn on notifications. It doesn't cost anything, so you can stay up to date with the latest and the best reviews we always bring you here at TechGround. That's all for today. Thank you so much for being here. See you in the next video. See you soon.